Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Red and Blacks TV discussing the transfer market this summer for AC Milan. In this episode, we're going to talk about a few things. Another right wing option, Messias possibly being sold to a couple of teams that are interested, Ballo Toure possibly being sold, another striker option for AC Milan. Obviously, the first team started training already, and Landon Donovan's comments on Pulisic's move to AC Milan. Also, we're going to touch on possibly Musah being another option for some Premier League teams, and then our interest in Adama Traore. So first things first, we're going to start with a right-wing option, which is Gustav Isaacson, the Danish right winger. He has 31 goal contributions last season and is looking like a very good option as a backup right winger or potentially for all three upfront positions. He has experience playing on the left wing, he has experience playing as center forward, and he's played on the right wing, which he's been very successful at. He also scored both home and away against Lazio last season in Europa League, so he is looking like a pretty decent option as right wing. It seems like personal terms are already agreed, and AC Milan is just talking about a transfer fee. It seems like he might be a backup option to Samuel Chukwueze from Villarreal, but we are not sure yet if both are options or if just one of them. I think the next step is going to be trying to sell Messias before we agree on signing any right winger as a backup option. So Messias seems to be an option for both Torino and Bologna. We have set a price at 10 million for Messias. Personally, I don't think anyone is going to pay 10 million for Messias, for Junior Messias. However, that is a good starting point, and maybe 6 to 8 million would be enough for AC Milan to let him go and sign in another possible option. Messias is over 30 already and has not offered too much at AC Milan. However, he has come through with a couple of clutch goals, especially in the Scudetto season, but I think he's served his time at AC Milan already. The other person that we're trying to sell right now is Ballo Toure. Everyone knows Ballo Toure has not been the left-back option that we've been seeking as a deputy to Theo Hernandez. He doesn't seem to have the skill set to maintain any type of starting position at AC Milan. So right now we're looking to try to sell him with a few teams interested, such as Bologna, Werder Bremen, Everton, and Fulham. So let's see if we can get rid of Ballo Toure and sign either another backup left back or put that money towards another position that we need. Another striker option for AC Milan seems to be Mehdi Taremi, the Iranian striker from Porto. He did have a pretty decent game against us when we played them in Champions League a couple of seasons ago. He is a late bloomer at 30 years old. You would think that he's on a downfall, but it seems that his career has taken off in his late 20s. I do think that he could offer something for AC Milan. Is that the best option, though, at 15 to 20 million price range that they're talking about? I personally don't think so, but he could add to the team. He is a very good finisher, very good header, so we'll see if that's an option for AC Milan. I do prefer Morata at the moment, believe it or not. And a younger option for me would be someone like Atalanta striker, even though he's headed to Manchester United most likely. But let's see where the budget is spent. If we get a very good right winger, then someone on a cheaper option like Mehdi Taremi or even Morata doesn't seem like a bad choice. If we have Leao, Pulisic, and let's say Samuel Chukwueze or someone on the right-hand side, then less money can be spent on the striker, just someone to gel those three attackers together. Now, the first team has started training already. About 19 players have came back. Some of the big names like Giroud and Leao won't be back until the 19th of July. However, the other players have started training already. Luca Romero is also on the training field at this moment. So it's exciting times to see the teams training and to potentially see how some of the new signings gel in. I know Loftus-Cheek is also in training. So let's see. Exciting times. Preseason is just around the corner. AC Milan will be going to the United States for another preseason tournament. So let's see how it goes. And long summer ahead with transfers coming. Landon Donovan made some comments on Christian Pulisic's signing for AC Milan. Personally, Landon Donovan should not have a say on someone that is more successful than him like Christian Pulisic. To quote, first of all, Landon Donovan's comments on Pulisic were that he thinks that it was a bad idea for Pulisic to move to AC Milan and he should have came back to the MLS mainly because he should focus on gaining form for the World Cup and he should have signed to LA Galaxy, and he's also unsure if he's going to play for AC Milan. First of all, Mr. Donovan, with all due respect, those are very stupid comments. Christian Pulisic is already a very successful player in Europe. Even at Chelsea, his only problem was injuries, but his numbers are very good. He will be a sure starter for AC Milan when the season starts. And he's already a much more successful player in Europe than Landon Donovan himself. So maybe Mr. Donovan is already thinking about his own personal career where he failed in Europe multiple times going on loan, and he was only successful in MLS when the MLS was a nothing league and there was no serious players in MLS to begin with when Landon Donovan was dominating that league. Christian Pulisic going to the MLS at the prime of his career would be a very stupid move, especially with the talent that Christian Pulisic has, because he has European talent, not MLS talent. And what player possibly focuses on the World Cup 3 years in advance? It's just a very stupid comment by a very stupid commentator, and I don't appreciate it when people just talk out of their ass, especially for teams they have no idea about. Moving on from there, obviously, we can all see that upset me. Musah from Valencia that we were interested in seems to have a couple of other potential moves, especially to the Premier League, with Fulham and West Ham interested. Now, AC Milan had their first bid rejected for Musah, so now that opened up some room for the Premier League teams to come in. Fulham has a decent transfer budget. They can offer Valencia enough money for Musah, and West Ham is looking for another midfielder as well. Hopefully he chooses AC Milan and Milan comes back with a more improved offer, because I do like him as a player. In other news, back to Adama Traore, who I have mentioned before. He is now available on a free after canceling his contract with Wolves, so he is a free transfer. And surprisingly, Pioli and the AC Milan staff think that Traore could potentially be a good backup option for the right back position. He hasn't really played as a right back, he's played as a right winger, but because of his speed and his strength, they do think that maybe he could be a good option for a right back. And honestly, doesn't sound like such a bad idea on paper, but you would have to teach him how to defend better, obviously. And in a 3-5-2 formation, Traore could potentially play as a right wing back because he is very good at going forward. And with someone with his strength and his speed, even if he does make a defensive mistake, he has enough time to recover. So who knows? That could be a potential good option as a right backup to Calabria. And if Traore is on the team and he's learning how to play right back, he can also come in as a right winger. I do like the player, like I mentioned before. Not that he offers a lot with goals and assists, but he's very skillful, very physical. So as a free option to add squad depth, he is better to me than Messias and potentially Salamakers. So I would sign him on a free transfer. But again, it depends how he fits with the squad and if he's actually willing to try playing as a right back, because obviously at this moment of his career as a 27-year-old, I think it could be a risky move trying to switch positions, but let's see how it goes. Roma is also interested on the player, so he does have some options. We'll see where that takes us. A couple of other players that we're trying to sell are still Origi. He himself says that he wants to stay at AC Milan and fight for his place, so that could be a tough potential sale for us. At the same time, Pobega and Adli might be on the brink of leaving AC Milan. We'll see if a right offer comes in for any of them. Obviously, Ante Rebic is up for sale, and there's only a couple of teams in Turkey interested currently, but no concrete offers have came in yet. The player sales for AC Milan is going to be huge on the transfer budget. If we can get rid of some players, then that means that we'll be able to bring in better talent. If not, then our budget might be limited. Let's see if we can sell some players. One more transfer rumor that came about is that Newcastle might come in later in the summer and offer big money for Theo Hernandez. I don't believe that AC Milan will sell two top players in the same market, even if a huge offer comes in for Theo. Theo Hernandez is a player that can keep his value going forward. He's one of the best left backs in the world, so I don't think his value will drop no matter what. I don't think AC Milan will want to get rid of two players like that in one summer, so leave those as just rumors, and I don't think there's any concrete backing to any of those. Thanks again, everyone. Make sure to follow us at Red and Blacks TV. Click the follow button on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. We're posting some highlight videos. We're posting a lot of transfer rumors and a lot of these clips from the podcast. If you're listening on audio, on all the audio platforms, you can tune in on Instagram and tune in on YouTube and watch some video highlights of these players that I mentioned. I try to grab a few second highlights so that I can add in a little bit extra to these videos. Once again, Red and Blacks TV, your AC Milan news in English. Soon enough, we're going to be having chats with other pundits, let's say, or online commentators for AC Milan so that we can get some nice friendly arguments going back and forth on what AC Milan should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, etc., etc. Thanks again, everyone. Red and Blacks TV. See you soon.